Hey, welcome back, man. Hey, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's been a minute since I've been live. It's been a minute. It's been well over a month since I've been live. Yeah, I know. It's been a minute since I've been live, man. I have been um, recuperating, man. I was in an accident back in September, man. A driver a immigrant driver from Canada had hit me, and he ain't even from damn Canada. Man, the dude was from India. A damn Punjabi from India had backed into my truck in the middle of the night. And guess where I was at? I wasn't nowhere near the Canadian border. I want y'all to just guess where I was at. I'm gonna just wait right quick. Do 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 do. Do 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 boo boo boom boom. Man, I was in Kentucky, man. The damn driver had backed into my truck in the middle of the night in Kentucky. I said, God almighty knows, man. And guess what? Andy tried to make a run for it. He tried to make a run for it, man. Thank God there was another driver that was awake, because he had just pulled up. Another driver, he was awake. He was parked behind me, and he saw the whole thing. He was like, first he heard the crunch, and then he saw the driver try to pull off, and then he ran up out his truck, man. A damn Punjabi backed into my truck, man. Can't even speak English. From Canada. So you know why I'm kind of speaking on this thing, man. If you've seen the thumbnail, if you've seen the title of the video, I didn't want to be too emotionally attached to it, right? I didn't want to be emotionally attached to the story, even though this is something that is near and dear to my heart because I have lived it. I am living it. I am going through the negatives of having illegal drivers, non-qualified drivers in the United States. I am going through it right now. Right? Like I said, I was injured, my truck was injured, down for a month. Set me back 2 months. 2 months, and me having that big pretty black truck, still making payments on it, trying to get insurances to fix things and clear things up. Boy, it's been a hassle. It's been a complete nightmare, I'm telling you, man. And I wanted to go live on it. I wanted to speak on it, and I think I had posted some videos, and if I haven't, I'll get to it. But I've been just getting my mind right, getting my body right, man. Trying to navigate through, the being back on the road, dealing with family, holidays coming through because the the fourth quarter of the year is very stressful as it is. There are more suicides in the fourth quarter of the year than there is any time of the year, especially for men, because we carry the burden of everything. That's what men do, right? So it's very important, that men we keep our minds right, we keep our bodies right, because when it's time for us to handle business, we're going to have to be sharp. We're going to have to be focused, right? We're going to be on top of our business because our families, they can't take excuses. So what, you were hurt. You got to get it done. So what, your your truck, your means of making money is down. You are the provider. Provide, figure it out. Man, it's been tough. But I'm back. I'm back. I am live. I'm going to share some more information on that, man, moving forward, though, man. It set me back real heavy, too, with the company. Like, I'm in the process of even looking at different companies, maybe switching over from being a lease operator, a owner, a lease operator, a lease purchase operator to a company driver. I've been filling out some applications, been getting some callbacks, some feedback all week long. One thing I wish I would have done, I wish I would have done this sooner, right? Because, when I first started filling out applications, I was filling out just applications to local jobs. Like I was really wanting to, do something local, try to get a union job, and I was really hyper focused on being local. Like if I can't be local, I'm not gonna go to another OTR company. And I was really thinking wrong. I was really thinking wrong, man. Like I should have been like, you know what? We're gonna have to switch it up because different OTR companies have different opportunities. And then that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the point to where I'm talking to recruiters, and we know that recruiters sometimes lie. I know. Y'all gonna be like, but, money trucker. Recruiters do lie, man. I know what you're saying. They can tell you one thing, and then you get there, and it's another. I know. Recruiters do lie. I guess it's a matter of who's going to tell the best lie, right? What make the most sense for you, right? And that's where I'm at, though. I'm in the process. I got about 4 companies on the hook, and pay is around about the same. Everything for these company positions is 1,600 to 1,800. Uh, there are some different lease purchase opportunities out there, 1,800 to 2,000, right? Um, so I'm really thinking about going back company because if I can't, let's just say 1,600 instead of 1,800 is the top number. Let's say 1,600 is the top number. If I can make 1,300, every week, and only get 2,200 miles, I'm comfortable with that, man. I'm comfortable with that, dog. I'm comfortable with that. I'm not even, you know, I'm good right there. I'm good right there. That's what I'm gonna say about it. Because some of these companies they're talking about 3,000 miles a week. I'm like 3,000 miles per week. Like golly. I'm thinking they're gonna say something like 2,500. But 3,000. So if they're saying 3,000 miles per week, if that's what they're selling, I'm thinking the average should be around about 2,600. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm thinking, man. So 2,600 very doable. That's basically 500 miles a week. I mean a day, right? And then they say that you'll get home on the weekend. So and you know me, because trucking done did something to me. I'm gonna get to it. Trucking done something to me to where I'm like, I really don't believe, when a recruiter said that you're gonna get home on the weekend. You're supposed to be home on Friday night, right? So you can have Saturday off, get back out Sunday, But you'll get home Saturday night and have Sunday off, and then get back Monday. But we'll see. We'll see. We will see, man. But we got a nice little lineup going, man. We got a nice little story going right out of Prime Inc. Man, Prime Inc. has been cooking up a little bit. Uh, the the featured trucker today or this evening will be a trucker by the name of Trucker B. Okay, he is a Prime Inc. driver, and he is speaking on the illegal drivers in the truck industry because the trucking industry has been it's been kind of dirty. When I do the numbers, the trucking industry has been kind of dirty to American truck drivers. Okay, and this is what I mean. There are 3 million truck drivers in the United States, right? Out of those 3 million drivers, 200,000 are illegal. Okay, so you have 200,000 illegal drivers, and let's just say that those 200,000 drivers move 3 loads per week. I mean per day, yeah, per week. Okay, that's 600,000 loads gone off the board. 300,000, 200,000 drivers times three, because three is kind of, the average, right? Maybe you do more, maybe you do less if you're running for those Russians. Maybe you can get 8 loads in for the week, right? You're running double clocks. As soon as your shift is over, they give you a fresh 11. Get started again, right? But on average, right? 200,000 drivers, 3 loads, 600,000 loads per week gone. Now check this out. For the whole year, 31 million loads gone. Right? Here it is, American drivers who are legit. They got their CDL, they have their paperwork ready, they have everything. Let me get back to you. They have everything that the United States governments and Department of Transportation said that you need in order to operate this big rig. Meanwhile, you got one from Mexico coming over, dirty, riding dirty. You got Vladimir from Canada, riding dirty. Singay from Canada, riding dirty. Jose from Venezuela, riding dirty. And all of their partners in the truck with them. 200,000 drivers times three. 600,000 loads gone. Over the course of over the course of 52 weeks, 31 million loads gone. You know how much money that is? If it's 31 million loads, that's money out of your pocket, driver. That is how much money out of your pocket. You've been struggling. You've been driving your truck for a few years now. And you've noticed that the deadhead from location 1 to your next load is getting further apart. And you're like, what the heck is going on, man? One time you could drop a load in Charlotte and pick up a load in Charlotte. Drop a load in Atlanta, pick up in Atlanta. Now you gotta deadhead out. Huh? Sometimes an hour, 2 hours. Shit, man. Some of those drivers I've heard they's talking about 3 and 4 hour deadhead. A 4 hour deadhead to get a reload. Why? Because 200,000 illegal drivers are on the road, man. And that's just what we know about. That's just what we know. Hmm. That number could be closer to 300, 300K, 300,000 drivers. But I ain't gonna speak on it too much. I'm gonna let Trucker B tell his side of it. We're gonna listen to Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Department of Transportation, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. It's been good seeing y'all, dog. Shit, let's go ahead and get this thing active. Mm-hmm. All right. So, like I said, man, this is Trucker B. Um, if you can see his information right there, he is a funny cat, man. Like he's from the South. I don't know where he's from. I think he's from like Alabama. Like he's giving Alabama in his accent, but he's loud and he's country as hell, man. And we're gonna listen to him, his perspective on the migrant crisis.
Hey, what's going on, gang? I just wanted to touch on the topic. I should have been did a video about this. Prime put out a message to all drivers stating that next year will be the year of freight. Like this gonna be the best freight market since 2021. With the stuff going on with the government and drivers having to turn in their trucks and get out of trucking that's in trucking illegally. So me personally, how I felt about it, I feel as though, hey, I ain't got no problem with them in trucking, but hey, America come first now.
Hey, that's a fact, man. Americans gotta come first, dog. You gotta take care of home first and foremost.
Just how I feel. That's just me personally. Like me personally, I ain't got no problem with them. But when it come to my money on and me providing for my family, I got to put me first, big dog. So hey, if that's what it took for me to make some money, hey, we can't go to now another country and drive an 18 wheeler. We can't go to now another country and get the job, the type of job that they get over here. I know this supposed to be the land of the free, but I think they took it and ran with it. Like
Now he has said something interesting. Like he said that American drivers can't just cross the borders all willy nilly and pull their freight and ride around. And that's true. Like I work for my company, right? And I have to stop at the border, whether it's in Laredo, Texas, or it's in Buffalo, New York, or Niagara Falls, New York, right? I can't cross the borders. I have to drop right there and then reload like right there or deadhead out versus maybe even going across the border, you know, taking a load in the trailer across the border, then picking up some more loads while I'm over there, ride around, stop at the Tim Hortons in Canada, get some maple syrup, right? Come on back, with some real maple syrup in the truck, or go down south, man. Go ahead and cross the border down there. What's that border town down there in Mexico, man. I be down there all the time. Can't think of it, but keep on going, you know. Ride around, pick up loads, drop loads, pick up loads while I'm down there. We can't do that. We can't do that. We're stuck to the United States, man. But those drivers, they get to come over here willy nilly, willy nilly, and the government is finally, trying to do something about it.
They they took it and like they changed the narrative on this land with the free. They made it into hey, this land of the free. Hey, we're gonna do what the hell we wanna do until they tell us we can't do it.
That's a
And that's what
fact.
they've been doing. They ran prices of freight in the ground. You gotta think we can't beat them, bro. They got four of them on one truck. Truck ain't never stopping. The truck needs maintenance. They can get it fixed. It's four people on there eating off their truck.
And another thing too, like this is real. Those drivers, especially the ones that come from down south, those Mexican drivers, Venezuelan, South American drivers, they can take cheap freight. They can run freight much cheaper than what we can, right? Where we might say, hey, $2 a mile is as low as we can go. They'll be like they can take 80 cents per mile. They'll take that 80 cents per mile and run it 2,500 miles. Whereas we would have been like, yo, I need $3 a mile, you know, to get from California, to New Jersey because that mother sucker heavy. They'd be like, no, boss, I'll do it for 90 cents. That's what you're up against, dog. 200,000 of those drivers. 200,000 of those drivers, man. That shit just
Like,
crazy.
think about it. Like, the people who own the places where we buying the truck, they foreigners. They might not even be giving them the same rate they giving us. Why you think you be driving? They take you 4, 5 years to own your truck. They come on here and drive 1 month. The next time you see them, they got their own truck, got a logo on it and everything. Like, come on now. You can't tell me something ain't fishy about this. Like, how is they coming over here? They coming over here. They made up Social Security number. They got A1 credit.
Mm.
Like, we can't beat them. We can't beat them, fellas. We can't.
It's definitely an inside job, man. Like yo, they got something. It's definitely an inside job somehow because they really got the game rigged. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that Mexico build a lot of trucks. They build a lot of trucks. And shit, you might can get some trucks real cheap from Mexico. And these people know that, right? I'm talking about the people who really push the buttons, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's some people at the cartel, whoever, you know, people who are government officials. Who knows? But they got the plug on the equipment. Brand new trucks, brand new equipment. Hell, those Volvos, man. Shit, shout out to those Volvo drivers.
Not beat them, dog. We can't beat them, bro.
Nah.
And I'm looking at the one though, bro. I know the dude at Kroger told me it's supposed to snow Monday. So, I need to be getting the hell from on over here. I hope my load ready about 2, 3 in the morning, bro. Cause I'm not trying to be in this snow, dog. And it's starting to come down. And y'all know how it is in this snow, bro.
Man, it's already
Go to
1:32.
sleep with a clean ground clear as day. Wake up, truck spinning, don't want to move. Y'all know how I get out here in this snow, bro.
Oh yeah,
Man, y'all know how I get. But yeah,
we
man,
do.
it get ugly.
Ah, there we go. Now you I like it when drivers, I like it when people start asking some real questions, man.
Come down, y'all leave, get out of work, they drive their truck, they continue doing what they doing. They probably gonna get caught 30 times. Like we gotta start impounding the trucks, taking the truck, all that type stuff. Like the owner operators, you gotta take the truck. You gotta force them to sell the truck. Or if they caught, I feel as though they caught driving their own truck illegally. We shouldn't have to get them their truck, man. We should sell the truck off
Mm,
to an American
mm.
and let it go from there, man. And I ain't got nothing against them, bro, but freight that picked up. I got some flatbed drivers I talked to, bro. They was at $5,000 on a Saturday, on a Friday, Saturday. They gross was at
Freight kind of picked up, but not all across the board, right? Like I've seen a little increase in my numbers, but it's still not where it should be, right? Like I'm noticing that I can drop in one area and probably pick up within like a 50-mile radius. I can do that now, on every load. Where one time I had to go maybe 100 miles at least 2-3 times a week.
five racks. So, hey, you can't tell me you don't see an increase in freight. You see more parking at the truck stops. I'm telling y'all, like this shit for real. Like you pulling up a truck stop like 7, 8 at night now and get you a park. Like when we first was when I first got in truck, you could pull up late and get a park. Now with them in now, it used to be like, bro, if you ain't parked by 3:30, 4 o'clock, especially a pile of load that ain't got but like 60 parts, you dead unless you out.
Hey, that's a fact. I had reported on that. I want to say 2 months ago. Yeah, it had to be 2 months ago. I was in I want to say Georgia, right on I-95, and it was about 7 o'clock because it was right before daylight savings, and half of the parking lot was empty, and I was like, "Damn, where the hell all the damn drivers at?" It was right before dusk. And then I went to another truck stop, and I kept noticing, like, late in the evening, plenty parking. I'm like, okay, yeah. It feels like it's getting back to normal. Um, of course, when I wake up, the parking lot is full, you know. But in the evening, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, if you know how to park, you can, back your truck in there and get you some parking, man. So we're getting back to normal.
Out there in Kansas, people don't really pull over in Kansas because there's so many truck stops. There's a lot of highway. They just figure they'll drive and drive and drive. They stop at the Nelson. They'll stop at the Nelson. It's a lot. It'd be a lot of parking out there because
Yeah,
it's a lot of parking area, flat ground. It's just a lot of
yeah,
ways to park out there. So you can run your clock to the last minute out that way. But when you get on over, the closer you get to the east, everything gets small over in the east. The west coast, wide open. East coast, everything get real small. So it get you gotta be parked early. You gotta do all kind of other crazy shit to make a park. You gotta come in. You gotta know how to make a park. You already know if ain't no parks and you got a scale, that's an extra part by the scale. You gotta know that if a pump down got the yellow tape up, that's a part. You gotta know that if you got enough room to bag up by the
Hey, do y'all park at those out of service pumps? I used to. I used to do that. I used to do that until one time I think somebody had woke me up in the middle of the night, and I was like, you know what? Nah, fuck this. I'm gonna go in the back somewhere and figure it out.
scale and that last pump bagging in right there. Man, you just gotta know, bro. This stuff I done learned. This ain't nothing that they gonna tell you, man. You gotta actually get out here and see what drivers doing late on in the afternoon when it's not no park. Cause they not not gonna tell you, bro. And right now I'm trying to see, do I want to let my truck run tonight? Well, bro, we gotta figure it out, man. And I should have been dropped this video, bro. I've been bull BSing, man. That's what you call it, BSing. Just trying to get some stuff in order. Like out here on the road, like studying, preparing. Like I really want to get all my endorsements on my CDL, man. I want to get my hazmat. I want to get all that stuff on my CDL. So I've been studying for that.
Let me go ahead and pause that too. I think that's a great idea for drivers to make themselves more marketable, um, get more endorsements, right? Get that hazmat on your belt, right? Because that opens up more freight for you. Get that tanker, triples and doubles. It just opens up more opportunity for you because, when I was filling out applications, and a lot of these places, they want your hazmat and triple your doubles and triples endorsements, which I don't have, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta step my game up.
You feel me? The hazmat got a lot of numbers, so if you know a quick way to learn them hazmat outside of the way I'm going with the apps, y'all please put in the comment section. Let me know how y'all got down with the hazmat. Y'all please let me know. But bro, it can't be too cold. Bro out here with some shorts on. Then you got probably know you probably got friends that's over here illegally and that you done met over the past and you built a relationship. But how do you really feel about your money on? How is it affecting you now that they slowly but surely get them out of trucking? Is your revenue going up, down, been the same? Can you tell the difference? When you pulling in that truck stop, can you tell? When looking at the trucks, like I don't see as many white trucks with the AR-15 on the side no more. I don't see that no more, for real, for real. I ain't been seeing, with the air blooders. I ain't been seeing a lot of, you know, cardboard with the duct tape on the side of the door, holding their logos up. Like I ain't been seeing a lot of that. So y'all let me know what y'all see, man. What y'all got going on out there?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I've noticed though. Let me get back to the big screen right quick. I'm gonna get back to the big screen. Let me get back to the big screen, bro. All right. This is what I've noticed. Drivers who typically would be wearing flip flops, they're wearing they're wearing closed toe shoes now. They're wearing sneakers now. I'm talking about in warmer weather too, right? Not up north, but like down south. Like, okay, normally a driver like that would be wearing, flip flops, something more comfortable on his feet, but they're trying to be more conspicuous. They're trying to be more conspicuous. They're trying to blend in. Don't be so noticeable. They got the phone call too. Ice on their ass. Ice got on their neck. I don't blame you. Shit. Somebody done put the word out. Anybody who wearing flip flops, harass. Let's get back to the regular screen though. Alright, we're gonna let Trucker B finish cooking up, and then we're gonna go to the next Sean Duffy.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, man, it's your boy Trucker B tuning in on another video. Hey,
Okay.
bro. I don't know, bro. What y'all think, bro? Y'all think gonna get bad out here, man, if I let y'all go? I gotta let y'all see this snow. Y'all let me know. Bro.
Yeah, that's about right, man. I had left north. Where was I? Ohio, and we got our first snow of the season, man. Like it's already snowing. It's already snowing, man. Shout out to Trucker B, man. I'm gonna say this too. Whenever it does snow, like early like this, It's going to be it's going to be a cold winter, but a short winter. It's going to snow, and then it's going to be real brief. It's going to warm up. I think it's going to be warm by March. We're going to get warm weather by March, man. All right, but we got our next scene. Next scene is going to be Sean Duffy, and he's going to be talking about DOT and what he planned on doing with illegal drivers and illegal migrants. Let me say that. All right, y'all. Hey, next scene. Let's go, man. Next scene. Let's go. Let's rock. Let's rock. There we go. Let's go.
Let's talk about what we are doing to reduce the risk. And it has a huge impact on our economy. The airline CEOs would say they saw their bookings decrease.
Speed it up.
Busier, which is why it's so important to build this brand new air traffic control system. The Congress has given us $12 billion. We need another almost $20 billion to finish the job. It's going to take us, 3 or 4 years to get it done. But again, this.
Now he's talking money for. Okay, this is the main guy over transportation for the whole country. Everything that has to do with transportation, he is the guy. Okay, now he's talking about money for the airline business. The trucking industry needs money too, right? We're gonna have to learn how to somehow raise money for the interest of drivers. Okay, like we're gonna have to really learn how to somehow come up with money so the interests of American drivers are met. Like the interest, like somebody's looking out for us, somebody's speaking for us, somebody is lobbying for us. If y'all know something other than OIDA, let me know, man.
This hasn't been done for decades, and now is the time to do it.
And do you want to be able to tap into the reserve fund should this ever happen again?
So yeah, I need Congress to take action. If there is another shutdown, I want to make sure air traffic controllers get paid. We can't have them call out sick. We can't have them not show up. On the last Saturday of the shutdown, there were 81 staffing triggers. I mean, this was a huge number, and that's why you saw mass chaos in the system, and why we had so many cancellations and delays. And so, if we have just at least that release valve to make sure that the controllers get paid, and we don't have this disruption in the future, I think that would go a long way for both Republicans and Democrats to take this off the table. Again, we don't want to see more risk in air travel. We don't want to see more pressure coming from air traffic controllers. We want to take that off the table. Safety is paramount. And I think this would be a good option. I know the House is going to look at this, and so too will the Senate.
And you said that you've been in touch with the airline executives. What kind of an impact are you expecting on fourth quarter growth numbers, on earnings numbers for the fourth quarter, given this 43-day lockdown?
Well, yeah, it's going to have an impact. I mean, a huge part of our economy is travel. And again, we saw bookings get canceled or new bookings not come in for air travel. But again, that ricochets through the economy with, again, hotels and in restaurants. And so I do think it's going to have a major hit. Now our car rental companies did fairly well with when people couldn't fly. They were renting cars and driving. Amtrak.
Security issues. And space is also a national security issue because that's where our satellites are. We know that. What are you intending in terms of following through on your declaration that America
I'm
is
gonna
not
speed
going
this
to
thing
continue
up
to lose
to
the moon
what we
race
want.
against China? Tell us what you're doing, even though
No.
you're no longer the NASA administrator. I want to get your take on the importance here because you have led on this. If not just for the moon race, you've led on protecting space as a national security issue. And of course, President Trump has set the tone on all of it.
Yes.
They need money for the airline business, and they need money. Somebody's coming up with this money for the space business as well. We're gonna have to learn how to generate money for truckers. I don't know how it's going to be done. Maybe I don't know, like education, right? Because one thing about this country, what it does is that it in the name of education, technology, especially education and science, they can print money for you. They can, you know. I don't know. Safety, that's one. That's another one. Safety, education, those are two areas where we're gonna have to like really like learn and tap into, so we can get some people to lobby for the interest of truck drivers, American truck drivers.
A man from Uzbekistan earlier this month while he was driving a commercial truck in Kansas. DHS says this 31-year-old Akror Bozorov was led into the country by Joe Biden's administration. He was wanted in Uzbekistan in 2022 for alleged ties to terrorism. He was granted work authorization in the United States in early 2024.
Wanted for terrorism in his own country, come here to get a professional driver's license, a professional license, man. What are we doing in America? What are we doing? Like, come on, man. What, like, really though? What are we doing? The guy, he's a terrorist. And you know what's crazy? Trump says, the president says that, hey, these countries, they're not sending over their brightest people. They're not sending over their best people. They're sending over the people that who are the bottom of the barrel. The people who are coming over, they're the bottom of the barrel. And Americans are going for it too. You people are going for it.
His commercial driver's license was issued in Pennsylvania, and the photo that DHS released even shows him having a real ID, Secretary. You've gone after California for issuing 17,000 commercial driver's licenses to illegals. Is it time to federalize CDL certifications?
And this is Pennsylvania. Let me see. California been a hotbed. Texas is another one. Florida, that's been a hotbed. Oklahoma, of course, Pennsylvania, New York too, right?
What are you doing here? And I mean, it's just astounding to me that someone who was tied to terrorism in Uzbekistan actually got a license to drive a commercial vehicle in Kansas.
Crazy.
Yeah, so first off, it goes to show you that Joe Biden and his administration didn't do any background checks on who was coming into the country. They offered them asylum and they offered them work authorizations and then allowed them to go out and get commercial driver's licenses and operate on American roads, endangering American citizens. And so we have had new rules that have come out to say, you know what, we're going to tighten this up. If you come legally, you have a visa, or you're coming from one state to another, you can get what's called a non-domiciled CDL. These are the licenses that these foreigners are using. But to tighten up the rules means we're going to have more safety on American roads. But you mentioned 17,000 from California. We think other states have also issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses.
Of course they did.
There were 200,000 non-domiciled CDLs issued to foreigners.
There it is. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Let's run it back.
Other states have also issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses. There were 200,000 non-domiciled CDLs issued to foreigners.
Wow.
From California, we think other states have also issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses. There were 200,000 non-domiciled CDLs issued to foreigners. From California, we think other states have also issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses. There were 200,000 non-domiciled CDLs from California. We think other states have also issued many illegally.
I ain't said it, he said it.
Driver's licenses. There were 200,000 Non-domiciled CDLs issued to foreigners. From California, we think other states have also issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses. There were 200,000 issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses. There were 200,000 issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses. There were 200,000 non-domiciled CDLs issued to foreigners.
So that goes back to that number that I said. Times 3, because your average driver can pull 3 loads per week. That's 600,000 loads. Multiply that for the whole year. That's 52,000. That's 52 weeks, right? That's 31 million loads over the course of a year. 31 million loads. That's how much money, how much opportunities to make money for your family was taken away by the Joe.
Wow. We think 194,000 of them were issued illegally.
Oh my goodness.
And would not comply with our new rule. And so again, you've aired these crashes, Maria.
Yeah.
They're horrific. When people can't understand the English language, they can't read signs, and they don't know the rules of our road.
Terrible.
That's a problem. Americans aren't safe, and we also see that there's CDL mills.
Come on, man.
Commercial driver's license mills where people aren't being properly trained. They're being pushed through, getting licenses, and then again driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria.
Yeah.
It's driving American truckers out of business.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's the one right there. That's the one right there, man. Come on.
And American trucking companies driving the wages down. That's not why we're taking licenses and then again driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria.
Yeah.
It's driving American truckers out of business. Being properly trained, they're being pushed through, getting licenses, and then again driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria.
Yeah.
It's driving American truckers out of business. That there's CDL mills,
Yeah,
commercial driver's license mills, where people aren't being properly trained. They're being pushed through, getting licenses, and then again driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria.
Yeah.
It's driving American truckers out of business. That there's CDL mills,
Yeah,
commercial driver's license mills, where people aren't being properly trained. They're being pushed
Say
through,
what?
getting licenses, and then again driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria.
Yeah.
It's driving American truckers out of business.
You wonder why it's so hard to keep up with that lease purchase payment? You wonder why owner operators are parking their truck and going to company driver positions? You wonder why you're working harder but receiving less. One more time, Sean Duffy, and I'm going to let you go.
That there's CDL mills,
Yeah,
commercial
unbelievable.
driver's license mills, where people aren't being properly trained. They're being pushed through, getting licenses, and then again driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria.
Yeah.
It's driving American truckers out of business. And we also see that there's CDL mills,
Yeah,
commercial driver's license.
You're working harder. You're working every damn day. And your check, your settlement is less than what it was last year and the year before that. And it's been decreasing year over year.
Mills where people aren't being properly trained. they're being pushed through, getting licenses, and then again driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria,
Yeah.
it's driving American truckers out of business.
Good point.
And American trucking companies driving the wages down. That's not why we're taking this action, but that's a real consequence of having all these foreigners come in.
That's a great
What we're
point.
going to do is see those wages rise, and it's still a good paying job in America to be an American truck driver.
Secretary, let me end where I began, and that.
All right, that's Sean Duffy, man. We're gonna go one more news story. Let's go here.
There's a lot of Americans who want to get behind the wheel of a big rig. These are and have been really great paying jobs. But when you will bring someone in who doesn't have a driver's license, they'll drive that truck for a much lower rate. Or someone who unlawfully got
Say what? Look, we've been saying this for years.
someone who unlawfully got their license, they'll drive that rig for a much lower rate. Or someone who unlawfully got their license, they'll drive that rig for a much lower rate. And so what's happened in the industry is they've driven the prices down. Oh, I do not buy the idea that there's not enough American truck drivers. To the contrary, there are enough American truck drivers to
Plenty.
demands that we have in this country.
Plenty.
This was concocted in a way to allow people to come into our country to get licenses, commercial driver's licenses unlawfully, and then get behind the wheel. I think you'll see American truck drivers fill the space when we do what's right and take out these unlawful drivers. And just a side note, never should we compromise safety. Never should we say we should put an unqualified driver in a big rig, an 18-wheeler, and set them loose on our roads and think that that's a great solution. If you need more drivers, make the case. Tell people how great the industry is, how much you can make in a year.
Pay people what they're worth. Pay American people what they're worth, man. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night right here. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. American drivers being put out of work by illegal migrants, non-domiciled drivers. Okay, 200,000 drivers getting 31 million loads taken away from American drivers. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I appreciate Trucker B for giving an update and his perspective on the migrant crisis. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, bro. Keep up the good work over there. Um, but y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Have y'all been impacted by the drivers, by illegal drivers? Have y'all been impacted? Do you see a difference? Do you plan on parking your truck? Have you parked your truck? You let me know. Leave a comment down below, man. Hey, this your boy, the big money trucker, dog. More like the little money trucker these days. Stay safe, stay legal, stay sucker free. We out. Until next time.